Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Martial Universe Season 10 Part 42 based on novel. So let's start. Darkness Sent Tiger? Lindong and the Heaven Dragon Demon Commander were stunned when they heard this name. After all, this tiger tribe no longer existed in the present demonic beast world. The Darkness Sent Tiger could be said to be the common ancestor of the current tiger tribes. However, due to the world war of that ancient era, the Darkness Sent Tiger became extinct, and their bloodline was not continued. This led to the present-day tiger tribe's gradual decline, and they ended up losing their previous overlord status. Little Martin explained. I once read about it in an ancient text. The Darkness Sent Tiger tribe was extremely powerful. Back then, one of their ancestors had been all-powerful, and countless strong Yimo died at his hands. Even during that ancient era, he could be considered a top-class expert. Lindong was involuntarily speechless when he heard this. It seemed that this so-called Darkness Sent Tiger tribe was indeed extremely incredible during that ancient era. Unfortunately, one could no longer find a member of this tribe with the same bloodline in this present world. This skeleton in front of us is perhaps the last Darkness Sent Tiger. Little Martin softly sighed. This tribe, which was once renowned throughout the world, had now completely vanished into thin air. A fact that inevitably made one feel sorrow. Big brother, shall we head down and take a look? Little Flame's tiger eyes stared at the huge creature at the bottom of the deep gully. His face was flushed at this moment. Clearly, his heart was filled with intense emotions. The Darkness Sent Tiger tribe was just like an ancestor to those who possessed the bloodline of the tiger tribes like him. It was only naturally for him to feel exceptionally emotional upon seeing it. Lindong did not have any objections to this. He nodded and the four of them shot forward. Their bodies flashed a couple of times and appeared at the bottom of the deep gully. Only after appearing in close proximity to the Darkness Sent Tiger did Lindong fully sense the unrivaled ferocity from it. Although this Darkness Sent Tiger was no longer alive, the faint pressure present still caused the blood within Lindong's body to churn. Little Flame stared intently at the huge Darkness Sent Tiger's body. After a brief hesitation, he slowly stepped forward and clenched his hand. His fingers pierced into his palm and blood flowed out. He slowly extended his bloody palm and finally gently placed it on the large head of the Darkness Sent Tiger as he knelt on one knee. This appeared to be an extremely ancient formality. The Lindong trio stood behind Little Flame. Their eyes vigilantly scanned their surroundings, prepared to deal with any sudden changes in the situation. Fresh blood spread from Little Flame's palm. After which, they became many lines of blood and seeped into the body of the large Darkness Tiger. Following the infusion of the blood, rays of light began to appear on the body of the Darkness Sent Tiger. The light slowly rose as the huge Darkness Sent Tiger's body gradually faded. Lindong's gaze was glued to the rising light. His eyes focused and saw that the rising light was converging in the air. In the end, it turned into a miniature black and white light tiger. The tiger eyes of the black-white light tiger shook. Finally, they slowly opened. Those tiger eyes were filled with an ancientness and an aura of great changes. When they saw Little Flame, ripples emerged within them. My descendant. A raspy ancient voice was emitted from the black-white light tiger's mouth, echoing within the deep gully. Ancestor. Little Flame knelt with one knee on the ground. His tiger eyes gazed at the black-white light tiger. The blood flowing in his body caused sincerity and intense emotions to be revealed on his face to reveal. The black-white light tiger smiled as if he had been relieved of a huge burden. Soon after, he opened his mouth to speak. However, those words were clearly only transmitted into Little Flame's ears. The Lindong trio were unable to hear anything. Little Flame remained kneeling on one knee as he quietly listened to the ancient voice that was being transmitted into his ears. It was a long time later before he finally nodded. Ha ha, my tens of thousands of years of waiting has finally been rewarded. I will finally be able to rest in peace. The black-white light tiger said in an extremely old voice, a voice that was brimming with tiredness. It is fate for us to have met. Hopefully, my tribe's bloodline will not end here. The black-white light tiger's voice sounded. After which, his body gradually faded as the light scattered. Only a black and white bead was left floating in the air. An indescribable ripple emanated from within the black-white bead, while blood seemed to flow on the bead's surface. Little Flame blankly looked at the black-white bead, which was condensed from the final bloodline of the darkness-sent tiger. Soon after, he got up with a solemn expression and extended his hand. The black-white bead drifted down towards his hand. Lindong slightly smiled upon seeing this. It seemed that Little Flame was blessed by fate. He was after all from the tiger tribe, and if he could obtain the last bloodline of this darkness-sent tiger, it would be extremely beneficial to his future training. The 4 people at the bottom of the gully were rejoicing because of the reward they had obtained. However, just as the black-white bead was about to land in Little Flame's hand, an unusual change occurred. Rushing wind sounds were heard and a figure appeared in a ghost-like fashion. The figure immediately grabbed at the black-white bead. Who? Lindong and Little Martin practically responded at the same time as intense chilliness surged from within their eyes. However, Lindong was still the fastest. Silver-white light tore through the air and appeared in front of the black-white bead in a flash. It spread apart, forming a thin light arc. Bang! The figure let out a cold snort upon seeing that he had been obstructed and threw a punch. Vast and mighty force surged and powerfully slammed onto the seemingly thin light barrier with the power of a mountain. However, this punch merely caused the light arc to sink as if it was made from cotton. After sinking to the limit, the light arc emitted a bang as it reflected the force. The figure was caught off guard, and was immediately sent flying backwards by the resultant force. His feet stepped on the ground repeatedly in order to stabilize himself. With the help of Lindong's lightning-fast response, Little Flame managed to grab the black-white bead, and immediately swallowed the bead in a single gulp. Only then did he look at the person who had interfered with a furious expression. Who are you? Don't you know what is called first come first served? The Heaven Dragon Demon Commander coldly shouted. First come first served in such a situation, do you really think that I am a fool? The figure laughed in a strange manner. After which, he revealed himself. This person wore a grey robe. His body was huge and he had a rough-looking face. Mighty Yuan power surrounded his body. This Yuan power surged and churned, transforming into a ferocious black tiger behind him. You are, from the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. Little Flame's expression sunk as he stared at this person. What good eyesight. That figure laughed loudly and said, I am Luo Lai, first commander of the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. I am Luo Teng, the second commander of the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. Another laughter sounded after the first person spoke as a phantom-like figure came sweeping down a mountain wall nearby, and appeared at Luo Lai's side. So it is the members of the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. Heh? You actually dare to snatch something that my celestial demon Martin tribe has taken a fancy to. Truly bold. Little Martin looked at the two of them. His eyes were ice cold as he icily chuckled. Ha ha, it is indeed problematic to offend the celestial demon Martin tribe. However, it is worthwhile to offend them for the final bloodline of the darkness-sent tiger. The expression in Luo Lai's eyes was altered as he laughed. Friend from the celestial demon Martin tribe. You should be aware of just how important the bloodline of the darkness-sent tiger is to our tiger tribes. If you give it to us, our Dark Abyss Tiger tribe will follow every command from the celestial demon Martin tribe in future. What do you say? Luoteng said. My celestial demon Martin tribe is not interested in your Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. Since my third brother wants this thing, all of you better not have any thoughts about taking it. If you leave now, Grandpa Martin can treat it as though nothing has happened. Little Martin said in a faint voice. Luo Lai shook his head upon hearing this. It seems that we will not be able to resolve this matter peacefully today. Although offending the celestial demon Martin tribe was extremely troublesome, Luo Lai was also clearly aware of the importance of the final bloodline of the darkness-sent tiger. If they obtained it, it might even be possible to regain the fame that the darkness-sent tiger had during that ancient era. At that time, they would definitely be able to unite the tiger tribes and once again rise to the level of an overlord tribe. Peacefully? With just the two of you? Little Martin's eyes were intimidating as he laughed coldly. Just the two of you aren't qualified to snatch something from Grandpa Martin's hands. It makes more sense if your tribe leader is the one to do so. Lindong looked at the two with cold eyes. The Luo Lai duo had clearly stepped into the samsara stage. However, these two did not pose much of a threat towards their group. After all, they had a total of 4 members. Indeed, just the two of us will not be able to stop all of you. Luo Lai grinned. His expression was strange as he said, however, our Darkness Abyss Tiger tribe is not the only ones who are eyeing this Darkness Saint Tiger's last bloodline. Lindong's eyes hardened upon hearing this. He suddenly lifted his head as many rushing wind sounds abruptly appeared above the deep gully. After which, he saw another 4 rays of light shoot over, before finally appearing in the air above. The light faded and transformed into 4 figures. All of them had powerful ocean-like auras. They were well-built and possessed boundless yuan power. Evidently, all of them were extremely strong individuals who had stepped into the samsara stage. Heavenly Devil Tiger Tribe, Ground-Shaking Lightning Tiger Tribe. Little Flame looked at the 4 powerful individuals who had appeared and frowned. Looks like the 3 great tiger tribes of the demonic beast world have all gathered here. Lindong slowly tightened his fist as he said in a faint voice. Little Martin's expression was icy. These people really knew how to choose the best time to act. It just so happened that they had been separated from the main group. From the looks of it, these people were clearly planning to take this opportunity to rob them. Ha ha, this should be Commander Yang of the 4 Titans Palace, right? You possess the bloodline of the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe in your body and can be said to be a member of our tribe. If you hand over the final bloodline of the Darkness Saint Tiger, you will be the hero of our Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe. 2 thin old men in black robes revealed a bright glint in their eyes as they stared at Little Flame and smilingly said. Little Flame curled his lips and laughed. These people from the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe were definitely scum. It seems that all of you really intend to become enemies with my 4 Titans Palace, the Dragon tribe and the Celestial Demon Martin tribe. Good, very good. Lindong's eyes were ice cold. He stared at the experts from the 3 great tiger tribes and slowly nodded. His low voice contained a suppressed fury and murderous intent as it echoed within the deep gully. These words caused the expressions of the members from the 3 great tiger tribes to slightly alter. However, after thinking about the importance of the Darkness Saint Tiger bloodline, all of them gritted their teeth as ominous light flowed within their eyes. Lindong deeply inhaled as a similarly ruthless expression also appeared in his eyes. He exchanged a glance with Little Martin and they both nodded, while an evil aura rose on their faces. In that case, they could only kill them. An icy cold murderous desire was emitted from the members of Lindong's group. As of now, there was no need for words. The 3 great tiger tribes had their eyes set on the last bloodline of the Darkness Saint Tiger. However, it was impossible for Lindong to simply surrender it over to them. In that case, they can only use their fists to determine the victor. Humph! The experts from the 3 great tiger tribes clenched their teeth after they saw Lindong's lineup. Promptly, fury rose in their eyes. Although they knew that the 4 Titans Palace was formidable, their 3 great tiger tribes were no pushovers as well. In fact, they were once extremely renowned factions. Heaven Dragon, launch the signal. Lindong said in a faint voice. The Heaven Dragon Demon Commander nodded upon hearing this. He clenched his hand before a blood jade appeared. After which, he directly shattered the jade. Immediately, an invisible ripple spread at a frightening speed after the jade was shattered. Gentlemen, it is still possible for all of you to leave right now. However, once my men from the 4 Titans Palace arrive, I'm afraid that all of you may be unable to leave by then. Lindong stared at the 6 Samsara stage experts before he slowly said. Humph, do you really think that there are only so few of us? We were also separated. Therefore, what can your 4 Titans Palace do if we gather together? How about if we include the forces from the Celestial Demon Martin tribe and the Dragon tribe as well? Little Martin ridiculed. The expressions of Luo Lai's group involuntarily changed when they heard this. In fact, there was intense fear deep within their eyes. Their eyes flickered for a moment, before a brutal glow surfaced on their faces. What can you guys do if we snatch it before your reinforcements arrive? Little Martin, the both of us will take on 2 person each. Little Flame, Heaven Dragon, the both of you only need to handle 1 each. Lindong's eyes were icy cold as he slowly said. Clearly, even though Little Flame possessed the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe's bloodline, those 2 top experts from the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe did not intend to show them any mercy. Little Martin nodded. Although they were up against 6 Samsara stage experts, it was not difficult for him to fight against 2 of them alone, given the formidable strength of the celestial demon Martin tribe. Moreover, Lindong's mental energy had advanced to the initial symbol Grandmaster level. Hence, it was also possible for him to fight against 2 Samsara stage experts by himself. As for Little Flame and the Heaven Dragon Demon Commander, though they were a little weaker, it was not difficult for them to handle 1 person each. Taking on 2 of us by yourself? The expressions of the powerful individuals from the 3 great tiger tribes became a little gloomy. Since they were Samsara stage experts, they were naturally prideful individuals. Therefore, they immediately felt that Lindong was looking down on them. I'm afraid that you have overestimated yourself. Luo Lai coldly said. Whether I did or not, won't you find out after we fight? A smile appeared on Lindong's face. After which, his eyes suddenly turned cold. Taking a step forward, his body appeared in front of the Luo Lai duo in a phantom-like fashion. Following which, a thought flashed past his mind before silver-white mental energy surged forward like floodwaters. Then, they directly transformed into thousands of mental energy spears, before they ruthlessly rained down on the 2 of them. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? The Luo Lai duo chuckled. Immediately, dense black light swept out from within their bodies. Meanwhile, their bodies also swelled. Then, the both of them threw a punch forward, before their punches actually transformed into 2 roaring black tigers. These black tigers rushed forward and collided head-on with the mental energy spears permeating the sky. While Lindong made his move, Little Martin also charged towards the 2 Samsara stage experts from the ground-shaking Lightning Tiger tribe. Up against his monstrous and brutal aura, the both of them did not dare to be lax. After all, the ferocity of the celestial demon Martin tribe was well known. Humph, little fellow, since you possess the bloodline of my Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe, as an elder of the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe, I order you to surrender that item. A skinny elder from the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe stared at Little Flame with piercing eyes before he cried out. Little Flame glanced mockingly at that elder of the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe. He did not utter any unnecessary words as his metal tower-like body shot forward. After which, together with his shadow, he enveloped that elder of the Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe. The Heaven Dragon Demon Commander gave a chuckle before he began to tussle with the remaining Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe elder. 10 figures began fighting at the bottom of this deep gully almost simultaneously. Other than Little Flame, the rest of them were considered as genuine Samsara stage experts. Therefore, this battle was naturally an earth-shaking one. Meanwhile, the deep gully was also trembling because of the remnant waves from the fights. As large cracks spread, it caused many huge rocks to tumble. Eventually, this deep gully was unable to endure the impact from their intense fights. Large rocks tumbled crazily before the gully split apart. Immediately, 10 figures rushed into the sky. Initially, this place was silent. However, the fights between the 10 of them were clearly earth-shaking ones. As wild and violent energy ripples spread, it was quickly discovered by other powerful experts, who had also entered this realm. Immediately, they tore through the sky and hurried over. After which, there was a stunned expression in their eyes when they saw the intense fights occurring in the sky. Everyone who could reach this place were extraordinary individuals. Moreover, all of them had exceptional eyesight. Therefore, with a single glance, they were able to identify the parties who were fighting. Soon after, some conversations broke out. Aren't they from the 3 great tiger tribes? Why are they fighting with the 4 Titans' palace? Heh, that Lindong is indeed powerful. he is actually able to fight against 2 commanders of the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe by himself. Judging by those ripples, it should be mental energy, am I right? Lindong's mental energy is actually this powerful. It is likely that he has advanced to the initial symbol Grandmaster level. Initial symbol Grandmaster level might be a little stronger than Samsara stage, but I'm afraid that it isn't going to be so easy to fight against the 2 of them by himself. In the surrounding sky, many rays of light continuously rushed over. After which, many figures appeared. Then, they were slightly startled when they saw this huge fight. Clearly, they did not understand why the 4 Titans Palace was fighting with the 3 great tiger tribes. Ha ha, this is interesting. At a corner of the sky, 2 figures appeared. It was an old man and a lady. The old man had a small build, while the lady was tall and graceful. The latter's bright silver hair scattered down like a silver lake and drew much attention from the crowd. The 2 of them were Kuan Yuan and Kuan Ling from the Kuanping tribe. The silver-haired lady surveyed her surroundings, before her attention paused on the battleground where Lindong was located. She was well versed in mental energy to begin with. Hence, she could naturally tell that Lindong was using his mental energy to fight against the 2 powerful Samsara stage experts from the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe. He has solid control over his mental energy. However, it isn't going to be so easy for him to defeat the both of them. The silver-haired lady's voice was cold as she said in a faint voice. It is rumored that even before he advanced to the symbol Grandmaster level, Lindong was able to rely on his advanced profound death stage strength to fight against a Samsara stage expert. Now that his mental energy has improved, it will be akin to gifting wings to a tiger. Therefore, I'm afraid that it will be extremely difficult for those 2 to defeat him. Kuan Yuan merely smiled, before he shook his head and said, "Bang!" 3 human figures clashed violently in the distant sky after his voice sounded. Following which, wild and violent Yuan power spread before the 3 of them staggered backwards by dozens of steps. Lindong stabilized his body. When he saw their ferocious expressions, he frowned slightly. Currently, his target was the devouring divine palace. Therefore, it was clearly not a wise decision to waste too much time here. Hence, it was best to end the fight as soon as possible. A glint flashed across Lindong's eyes. He clenched his hand before a miniature palace appeared. Then, he flicked his fingers gently before the palace shot forward. It expanded with the wind before tens of thousands of light rays shot out from within the palace. The light rays entwined around each other and formed a giant light formation. After which, that light formation enveloped Luoteng. Bang bang bang. Luoteng was startled when he saw that he was being enveloped by that light formation. Immediately, he hurriedly unleashed his attacks. However, that formation, which had trapped him, did not budge. The mysterious divine palace possessed a sealing ability. In fact, during the ancient era, it suppressed and sealed many Yimo kings. Therefore, although Lindong was unable to unleash its full strength, it was not a difficult task for him to use it to trap a Samsara stage expert. Let's see what you can do by yourself. Lindong's expression was icy cold as he stared at Luo Lai, who was outside of the formation. He suddenly clenched his hand before the sky turned dim. Following which, storm clouds rapidly gathered in the sky while countless electric snakes danced wildly amongst them. After his mental energy advanced to the symbol Grandmaster level, Lindong was able to control various types of energy in the world. Simply by lifting his hand, wind, cloud and lightning would churn rapidly. Lindong's hand seals were changing with lightning-like speed. Finally, he formed a relatively peculiar seal technique. Promptly, the storm clouds churned, before countless electric snakes rushed out from within, startling the crowd in the process. Finally, those snakes transformed into a 10,000 feet large ancient symbol which hovered below the storm clouds. An extremely frightening fluctuation spread the moment the ancient symbol, which was forged from lightning, appeared. This fluctuation. When Kuan Ling saw that enormous symbol, she was startled. As someone who had also stepped into the symbol Grandmaster level, she was naturally able to detect that this lightning symbol was not merely created from lightning force. Instead, there was an extremely frightening object hidden within. Raw? Evidently, Luo Lai had also detected danger. His expression changed drastically as he roared furiously towards the sky. Immediately, monstrous black light undulated and spread across his entire body, before they transformed into a 10,000 feet large black tiger. That huge tiger had menacing eyes which were filled with ferocity. Meanwhile, a dark aura covered the entire place. Ancient lightning symbol. Lightning suddenly flashed across Lindong's dark black eyes. He waved his hand before the lightning symbol streaked across the sky like a bolt of lightning. Everyone could only see a lightning flash, before the large black tiger suddenly released a miserable cry. Resplendent lightning glow erupted from within the large black tiger body. After which, that frightening force ruthlessly smashed it onto the ground. Then, the land crumbled, revealing a huge deep pit. Meanwhile, a miserable figure was lying within the deep pit and his originally powerful aura had become much weaker. Victory was determined by a single strike. The crowd was startled when they saw that Luo Lai was defeated instantly. Many pairs of eyes began to turn towards the young man in the sky. The contempt in their eyes was finally replaced by a solemn expression. You? Luo Teng, who was trapped within the formation, had an extremely ugly expression after he saw that Lindong was able to finish off Luo Lai so quickly. It's your turn. Lindong's face was devoid of emotions. He curled his palm before lightning flashed. Meanwhile, there seemed to be an ancient symbol floating on his palm. However, just as Lindong was about to attack, many rushing wind sounds suddenly sounded in the sky. Soon after, several figures barged into the battleground. Then, they stared menacingly at Lindong, who was about to make a move. The rest of the men from the 3 great tiger tribes have arrived. Kuan Yuan laughed upon seeing this. He said, however, there are even more people from the 4 Titans' palace. Ha ha, what is going on? Are the 3 great tiger tribes planning on attacking the 4 Titans' palace? In that case, my dragon tribe and the celestial demon Martin tribe will have to intervene. A loud laughter sounded from afar after Kuan Yuan's voice sounded. Soon after, dozens of figures, which were accompanied by monstrous auras, came rushing over. Their auras caused the expressions of the experts from the 3 great tiger tribes to turn exceptionally ugly. Waves of rushing wind noises could be heard in the sky as figures flashed and arrived at the battleground one by one. After the light faded, the people from both sides were revealed. There were a total of 6 people from the 3 great tiger tribes who had arrived, and all of them possessed the strength of the Samsara stage. It was obvious that the 3 great tiger tribes had heavily invested this time. They had dispatched many top experts from their tribes because of the commotion of the shattered space. As one of the 8 great king tribes, although their foundations might be inferior to that of the 4 overlord tribes, it should not be underestimated. Despite the powerful lineup of the 3 great tiger tribes, their current expressions did not look good at all. This was because there were a dozen figures standing in the sky opposite them. Those fierce eyes were akin to wolves and tigers. First Elder Zhu Li, Liu Qing, the Golden Ape Demon Commander and the others, who had been separated from Lindong's group earlier, had all arrived. This lineup, which was a gathering of experts from 4 Titans' Palace, Dragon Tribe and Celestial Demon Martin Tribe, was clearly much grander when compared to the 3 great tiger tribes. The originally intense fighting in the sky gradually came to a halt as the forces from both sides arrived. The faces of the experts from the 3 great tiger tribes trembled as they looked at the coldly smiling Liu Qing and the rest. First Elder Zhu Li and Liu Qing were both top experts who had touched the power of reincarnation, and their strength was far from what ordinary Samsara stage expert could compare to. If they were to fight, it was likely that just the 2 of them alone would be able to block the lineup from the 3 great tiger tribes. I said that you 3 great tiger tribes are really becoming increasingly bold. You are obviously aware that Lindong is our dragon tribe's punishment elder, yet you actually dare to attack him. This is clearly looking down on our dragon tribe, right? Liu Qing smiled in a strange manner. Jiao is my celestial demon Martin tribe's junior tribe leader. Attacking him is equivalent to challenging our celestial demon Martin tribe. First Elder Zhu Li also said in an indifferent voice. The bodies of the experts from the 3 great tiger tribes stiffened slightly upon hearing this. Although the three great tiger tribes were rather influential in the demonic beast world, it was obvious that they did not dare offend the dragon tribe and the celestial demon Martin tribe, two of the overlord tribes. If word of this reached their tribes, they would definitely be severely punished. Please do not be angry. This is merely a misunderstanding. The two elders of the heavenly devil tiger tribe laughed dryly. Although it was possible for them to accept offending these two overlord tribes if they could obtain the last bloodline of the darkness saint tiger, it was obvious that they had already lost the best opportunity to snatch it. In that case, it would be far too foolish to offend the dragon tribe and the celestial demon Martin tribe again. This Commander Yang of 4 Titans Palace possessed the bloodline of our heavenly devil tiger tribe. As such, he can be considered a part of the family. How could we possibly have any ill intentions towards him? Little Flame inwardly sneered upon hearing this as ferociousness flashed across his tiger eyes. The heavenly devil tiger tribe had made him exceptionally displeased today. He would have to properly settle the scores when he had the opportunity to in future. Leader Lindong, we were the ones who being impulsive earlier, and this old man will apologize to you here. May I know if you can first release Luoteng? The elder from the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe glanced at Luoteng, who was still trapped by Lindong, before cupping his hands together as he asked. I can release him. However, I hope that everyone will be careful with regards to what they say and do. Otherwise, do not blame me for killing. Lindong glanced at the elder. He mused for a moment before speaking in a faint voice. Luoteng and the rest gnashed their teeth upon hearing this. However, they could only nod their heads. Lindong's words were extremely clear. He wanted them to shut their mouths and not say anything about the last bloodline of the Darkness Saint Tiger tribe. Only after seeing this did Lindong wave his hand. The mysterious divine palace quickly turned into a ray of light and returned to him. The formation, which trapped Luoteng, also disappeared. Although he was a little furious in his heart due to the actions of the three great tiger tribes, now was not the time to fight with them. After all, his ultimate goal was the devouring divine palace. There were clearly many strong individuals after the inheritance of the devouring master. It was unwise to exhaust their strength here. Luoteng's expression was a little volatile after he was released. However, he also understood the situation and no longer had his previous ferocity. This was especially the case under the fierce eyes of Liu Qing. All he could do was angrily land on the ground and help Luo Lai, who had become extremely weak after that single attack from Lindong, to his feet. Luo Lai's expression was also steely green. He had been turned into such a miserable state by Lindong in front of so many eyes despite having the numerical advantage over the latter. It was likely that many would mock him if word of this spread. Let's go. Although he felt bitter in his heart, Luo Lai was also able to adapt to the situation. All he could do was wave his hand and swiftly lead the experts from the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe away. The other two great tiger tribes could only smile awkwardly after seeing the Dark Abyss Tiger tribe leave. They too cupped their hands together towards Lindong before leaving in a dejected manner. The anticlimactic ending of the considerably intense fight caused the surrounding onlookers to shake their heads in a regretful manner. They wondered just what was wrong with these three great tiger tribes. The latter obviously knew that 4 Titans Palace had the Dragon tribe and Celestial Demon Martin tribe backing them. Yet, they still challenged 4 Titans Palace, an act that was practically seeking their own humiliation. The various experts in the sky did not linger any longer after seeing that the show had come to an end and quickly scattered. It's not been long since we separated and you have already offended the 3 great tiger tribes. After seeing that everyone had left, First Elder Zhu Li turned and helplessly shook his head at Lindong and Little Martin. Clearly, he was somewhat speechless at the knack these few young fellows had with regards to getting into trouble. These people actually dare to snatch something that belongs to us. Grandpa Martin is already kind to not have killed them. Little Martin curled his lips as an ominous glint flashed within his eyes. Snatch something of yours. First Elder Zhu Li was a little stunned. Lindong shrugged his shoulder. He did not hide anything and recounted the matter of the Darkness Sent Tiger. It is actually the Darkness Sent Tiger. First Elder Zhu Li and Liu Qing were clearly a little amazed after hearing what Lindong had said and took another glance at Little Flame by the side. They finally understood why the three great tiger tribes dared to take such a risk. What a fateful encounter. The Darkness Scent Tiger tribe has basically completely disappeared from this world. The Darkness Scent Tiger bloodline that you obtained earlier might be the last one there is. First Elder Zhu Li sighed. His expression was one of pity and regret. After all, the Darkness Scent Tiger tribe was not weaker than their dragon tribe during those ancient times. However, it had almost went extinct after the great calamity back then. Hopefully, the last bloodline of the Darkness Scent Tiger will allow the former Overlord tribe to rise again. Little Flame nodded as he closed his fist over his chest. He could sense that the black-white bead, which he had swallowed, was slowly dissolving. An ancient and powerful bloodline was spreading a little at a time. This bloodline was even greater than his Heavenly Devil Tiger tribe bloodline. Let's go. We should head for the Devouring Divine Palace. Lindong smiled and patted Little Flame's shoulder. They had wasted quite a lot of time in this place. Fortunately, with the faint connection from the devouring ancestral symbol, he could sense the rough position of the Devouring Divine Palace. Everyone smiled and nodded after hearing this. Their expressions were filled with anticipation. It was likely that all of them felt a great curiosity towards the legendary Devouring Master. Let's get moving. Lindong smiled as he took the lead and rushed forth. His body turned into a ray of light that headed straight towards the depths of the shattered space while little Martin and the others followed closely behind. This sight was exceptionally spectacular. Lindong's group did not take any breaks during the subsequent journey. His eyes were focused intently on the depths of the shattered space. Great excitement seemed to flicker deep within those pitch-black eyes. Along the way, they encountered many strong individuals who had also entered the shattered space. Most of them were quite well known in the demon region. However, they appeared to be quite wary when they saw Lindong's group. After all, this lineup was very intimidating. Lindong did not concern himself with this and merely raised his speed to the limit. They continued in this manner for around an hour before his body suddenly stilled. He could feel the devouring ancestral symbol inside his body tremble violently at this moment. This feeling was becoming increasingly clear. We are about to arrive. Lindong's figure gradually slowed as he softly said. Excitement rose within everyone's eyes when they heard this. The group traveled for another dozen minutes before they gradually came to a stop. At the end of their sight stood a lone black mountain on a barren plains. The lone mountain was precipitous and there were no paths leading up to its peak. Shifting their eyes upwards, everyone saw a huge black palace silently towering on the lonely peak. It was as though it had stood there since the beginning of time. Complicated feelings rose in the eyes of Lindong and the rest as they gazed upon the huge lonely black palace. It was there that a peak ultimate expert from that ancient era had died. He was someone who had once crossed the crack between the plains and charged into the Yimo tribe. Even those cruel Yimo felt fear towards this ultimate expert. He was one of the most dazzling figures of that era. I have finally found you. Lindong deeply inhaled a breath of air. His body trembled slightly at this moment. It was possible for him to feel the sorrowful howls from the devouring ancestral symbol in his body at this moment. The Devouring Master. This name had been firmly imprinted into his heart ever since he had obtained the devouring ancestral symbol. Now, he was going to be able to truly meet him in another form. Excitement churned within Lindong's heart. However, he slowly suppressed it a moment later. This was because he could detect hurried wind sounds behind him. Those top experts from various parts of the demon region had begun to arrive one after another. Many rays of light swiftly arrived, seemingly without end as they appeared in the sky above. They looked upon the large black palace on the lone mountain, and no one spoke for a time. Their eyes were filled with reverence. The 8 ancient masters were the direct disciples of the symbol ancestor during that ancient era. They had protected the countless lives of this world. Lindong shut his eyes as he immersed himself in this atmosphere. He was aware that this silence would not last for long. Time ticked by. This silence continued for half an hour, before the eyes of the many experts in the sky began to regain their clarity. Subsequently, an intense flame-like heat began to surge within them. Lindong seemed to have also detected this change, and his shut eyes slowly opened. His long hands gently closed into fists as he looked at the Black Palace in a determined manner. I will succeed your inheritance. I will guard this world in order to protect those whom I need to protect. This video will end here.